We're excited today to be with Monique Smith. She is a virtual health and fitness coach out of California, and she's going to just pour into us for a moment. So welcome, Monique. How are you today?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for having me.
Well, I know that you have a big fan. I mentioned it earlier with Lori Graham. She follows you and just thinks the world of you. So tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got started on this path, in this journey. What did that look like for you?
Well, where I started was post-baby. It was a real struggle for me personally. Number one, to go to the gym, just in general. And my son is almost 3 now. So when he was really little, sometimes it was a little bit easier. But especially as he became a toddler, it was just too difficult to be able to go to the gym, take him with me. And so it got kind of discouraging. So my sister-in-law was telling me about just these great workouts that you can do online. I'm like, wow, that's awesome, because as a mom, anything I can do from home that will make it that much easier for me is great. So she shared with me just the program she was doing, and so I kind of started there and started doing workouts, and I started to feel better and felt like, okay, I can do this. Being a full-time mommy, time is of the essence. So that's kind of where I started. And then I realized, I would really like to help other women. That's my biggest why as to why I became a virtual health and fitness coach, is I want to be able to encourage, especially other mommies who already have so many things on their plate. And, to add one more thing seems so overwhelming, but when we take care of our health, especially as moms, I think we have a tendency to put ourselves last and put everybody else first. So I like to encourage other women and other mommies to just take, even if it's 20 minutes a day, just to work out, to get those endorphins in their bodies, to feel better, because when we take care of ourselves, we're better capable to take care of other people, especially our family members. So that's what kind of got me started. And now the people that are on my team, a lot of them are moms, if not all of them. And it's encouraging because not only are they trying to focus on becoming healthier and more fit, but I'm doing the same thing. So not only am I encouraging them, but I'm working on my own journey. So it's like we're all in it together. And that's kind of the biggest thing for me, is just making women feel like they have more strength than they really realize, and just bringing the beauty that already resides within them to come out to the forefront.
That's wonderful. It's a great story. And I love that, you found your journey. You've kind of found that path through being a mom and knowing your pain points, knowing your challenges, the hesitation of going to the gym and feeling like you're alone, and now creating a community that empowers one another, keeps each other accountable. I mean, that is what it's about, doing life with someone, even though you're not virtual, you're not physical neighbors. You can be virtual neighbors. You can be that have that camaraderie even through the screen. So I love it. And how have you seen now through, going through something that none of us could have ever planned? And how have people in your group, how have they responded, and how have you had to take this opportunity and really maybe make something new or fresh or relevant to what they're dealing with in the moments?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that this has been such an answer to so many people, because they can't go anywhere. And the great thing is that even though most of us are kind of stuck inside, since it's virtual, you can go to the park, you can go out, you can go in your backyard, you can still go somewhere else besides, being inside. And you can know that, okay, I can still do something. There's still an answer for me. So I feel like this has really been very helpful for people who ordinarily would go to the gym, to at least have something they can do. And it brings them hope, because we all need that release. We need that moment, those 20 minutes, 30 minutes, whatever we have. We need that time, especially right now with what's going on in our world. We have to have just a few moments of positivity, of just releasing everything from our minds. And I feel like it's really been a great tool because you're safe, you're in your home, and you feel like, okay, I have something I can do. I don't, maybe I can't go to that class I usually go to, but I can do this at home, and I can invite my friends to do it with me too in the safety of their own home as well. So I really feel like, especially right now in today's climate, it's been a huge answer for a lot of people. And I feel really great that I get to be a part of that and kind of bring people hope.
Yeah, that's wonderful. And this is our workshop Wednesday. So give us some like practical tips. I mean, you talk about 20, 30 minutes a day. What are some things that our listeners, our watchers can do? And some maybe examples of things that you guys do together that you feel like can make that difference, even if it's just little incremental improvement. And then those days compounded together. Wow, we're like a totally different person in a month, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So one thing that's really well known is that it takes 21 days to create a good habit. So I think the hardest part for people is just to start. And for some people, they're willing to just go all in, work on a nutrition plan, do a workout program. We have challenge groups for 6 weeks. So right now I'm in the middle of that myself. So some people are like, yeah, I want to take this challenge. I'm going to commit to a nutrition plan. And for 6 weeks, I'm going to come and show up every day and do this workout. But for some people, maybe they just need to start just with baby steps. So one practical thing is making sure that we're drinking enough water. So if you're trying to lose weight, you want to drink at least half of your weight in ounces of water. And water is huge. We're in the middle of the summertime.
Yes.
So it's even more important to do that. So drinking a ton of water, that's where everything gets released. That's where the fat goes is, when you drink your water. And also just eating more vegetables.
Yeah.
Start there. Just eat more vegetables. Start with one thing that you can control and don't worry about everything else. Maybe instead of having 1 beer a day, have 3 in a week.
Right.
Whatever that means practically. So just doing little things, or even for mommies, especially, I have 1 toddler. And I'm a stepmama of a 12-year-old. So my toddler is obviously way more active. So it was a transition for me to be able to figure out, okay, there are going to be moments where he's going to walk in the living room and I'm going to have to just pause what I'm doing and just take a moment. And that's okay. That's where I'm at right now. So also just being gracious to yourself.
Yes.
And you know what? I don't have an hour, but I have 15 minutes. So I'll start there. We're all in different seasons of our lives. We just got to start where we're at. We need to be honest with ourselves. And, I would say to anyone who's listening, just pick one thing that you can challenge yourself to do this week and start today, whether that's drinking more water, eating more vegetables, cutting out, maybe if you go out to eat every day, maybe don't do that every day this week.
Right.
Whatever that means for you, just pick something that is within your reach that you can actually do, and that'll just start to develop your mindset, because it's a marathon, it's not a sprint. I think people sometimes get so overwhelmed because they think like, man, I have to do this full list of things and there's no way I'm going to do it, and it just feels like this huge elephant. But you just got to do it one bite at a time, one step at a time. And that's the biggest thing. We live in a time where everybody wants a quick fix.
Yeah.
And the truth is that's not real life. If you want something to be long lasting, you have to just put in the work day by day and be patient. Yes. And you can't compare yourself to other people. That's a huge thing too. The only person I'm in competition with is myself. So especially for women, sometimes we can have a tendency to compare ourselves to other people, but we just need to embrace who we are and the beauty that God gave us naturally. Yeah. And to just be in competition with ourselves,
Yes.
We know we can do, and let's push ourselves to go that far, not to look at her and say, well, what is she doing? But just look at what can I do? Realistically, what can I do? And I think that's the greatest place to start. And when you start there, then week by week, month by month, where you started is not where you're going to finish. You're going to be a totally different place. And no matter what your progress looks like, you're still going to have progress.
Right.
So I think I think that's just really important, to just take it day by day, step by step.
Yes, be better than we were yesterday, right? Just be better than we were yesterday, and then that's the continuous improvement. And you talk so great about our physical health, and just making that one better decision. It's definitely not a sprint. This is something that grows over time. What about mentally? What about spiritually? I mean, how do we might look great? We might start getting the body and feeling better. But what about the mental capacity and really taking care of ourselves, especially during a time like now?
Absolutely. Well, for me personally, I've challenged myself to get up earlier in the morning, to have a quiet time. So I read my Bible and I journal and I pray, and that's what I do in the morning. But I think it's so important to have a time set out during the day. I think most moms would probably want to do it when they're just alone. If they can find a time, even if it means getting up 30 minutes earlier before the whole household wakes up, or doing it at night when everybody's asleep, but just finding a moment where you can just invest in yourself. But for myself, I read my Bible. I'll listen to a podcast while I'm driving in the car. That's a great thing to do too, is when you're doing the day-to-day things, going to the supermarket, getting gas, whatever that is, just start listening to a podcast, and look for personal development books that would help you. And I think that is so incredibly important.
Mm-hmm.
It all starts in our mindset.
Yes.
I'll give you an example. This morning, I just wasn't feeling it. I wasn't feeling it. I didn't feel good physically. Man, I'm just not feeling it this morning. But I made the choice to come against and push through my mental thoughts, because it doesn't mean that I don't get those thoughts too. It doesn't mean that we stop having those thoughts that want us to just give up or give in to the I don't feel like it.
Right.
But when you truly, once you start developing those habits, it's not that you don't get those ideas in your head anymore. It's just that you learn how to more quickly just push them out of the way and tell yourself, nope, I'm not going to give in to that thought. I'm going to make the choice to do this because it's important to me. And I knew that even though I wasn't feeling it, I still did my workout, and afterwards I felt so much better. And I knew I was, because when we work out, we get those endorphins, those natural happy feelings inside of us. It's like a natural happy pill.
Yes.
But your mental space is so important, just as important as physical, because if you don't feel good mentally, you're not going to want to do anything else.
You're absolutely on point. And when you think about the decisions, I love that you said I made the decision. So it's about not going on feeling, but going on fact. I know there's a fact that if I work out, the endorphins start, and now I have my natural happy pills instead of having to, maybe be on other medication that might not be necessary if we just had that discipline in our lives. I'm not saying that's for everyone, but you got to think about that. We all have to ask the real true why and the cause of maybe how we're feeling and why we're feeling that way, and know that we have to make those healthy choices. Sometimes those things get us out of the feeling, right?
Absolutely.
That's so good, and great information here. And Monique, any final thoughts? You've given us so much to really start a morning routine and get in a group that could help inspire, encourage us, and just we're our only competition. Any other final thoughts that, as people are kind of going through and out of this and hopefully to a better place, any encouraging words for them?
I would just say to take it one day at a time.
Yeah.
It's okay that you don't have it all together. Especially for parents right now, school starting, we don't know what this is going to look like for the long haul. Just take it day by day. You can't control what tomorrow will bring, but you can control today.
Yeah.
So just choose to stay in a positive mindset. And something that helps me is just to stay in that place of thankfulness.
Yes.
I can't control what I do have, but I can be thankful for what I do.
Yes.
And I find that when I stay in that place of thankfulness, it kind of makes everything else go away and disappear, because then it takes me back to the reality of, you know what, I am blessed. I have a healthy family. We have a home to live in. We have food in the cupboards. We're taken care of. God has taken care of us, and I have nothing to complain about. And, I can't control everything that's going on in the world, but I can choose to be positive, thankful, and I can control what happens in my own home. I can create an environment that is positive and peaceful, and I can just focus on that. So I would just encourage people, just take a moment and look at your children, give them a hug, take a look around you and see what you have, and just be thankful, because that's going to already just put you in a better mindset to be able to keep on going.
Oh, wow. That's wonderful. And it's so, we sometimes get away from those basics, right? The basic principles of loving and cherishing and being thankful. And when we come out of a grateful heart, and that is contagious to other people, right? So especially as moms, we get to impact our families, and that ripple effect just keeps growing. So wonderful, wonderful. And how can people connect with you, Monique? Can you give us a little bit of some of your links and all that good stuff?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, the first best way is my Instagram page, which is MoSmith326. And also my email, which is coachmoniquesmith@gmail.com. So those are the two biggest places. They can message me, and I have a link on my Instagram, and they can just find me there.
That's great. Well, we'll definitely put the links in, and we just want to thank you for your time today, for just imparting and depositing some wisdom within our group here. And we just wish you the best.
Oh, thank you so much.